Hi there, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Elk Calls here ahead of the series finale rubber match between the Bend Elks and the Springfield Drifters. Here with current Springfield pitching coach and former Bend Elks manager in Alan Embree. Your pitching staff has had a pretty good weekend. 21 strikeouts, a franchise record on Tuesday night, and then you nearly get a complete game out of your starter last night. How has it been to see this pitching staff have some success recently?
Well, the group has been pretty solid overall all summer long. But the stretch and the melt that we've had with players leaving and stuff, it's been really good because it saved some arms and give us some time in the game to stay in the game and decide which direction we're going to go.
Absolutely, and just being in the pitching role this year, taking kind of a step back from your typical manager role as the pitching coach now, how have you liked being able to kind of hone in on the craft that you were able to do for so long and pass that on to the next generation?
Well, I call it, I was done babysitting is what I was saying. When you got to take care of the whole group, it takes away from what you're really good at. And so it's been nice to take that step back and just coach pitching, talk mentality, and hopefully some of these kids get it and they take it to their schools and it makes it to where they can have a successful career.
Taking that step back, you're playing behind a head coach of Tommy Richards, a guy who you're familiar with, and playing with the Richards organization here in the Elks of the parents of Tommy. Just how is your relationship with that entire Richards family?
Well, that's how it came to that I was going to be the pitching coach this year. It was a chance to work with Tommy. I think he's a bright up-and-coming coach. I think he's going to have a very successful coaching career, and if I can help him along that way, I will. And I love the Richardson family, and they were always good to me, and it's just great. It's more like a family feel at the ballpark than anything.
Absolutely. I'm going to take you about a decade back, 2012, when he's recovering from his Tommy John surgery. He comes here to Bend, and you help him work through that. How did that bring you guys closer together?
Well, I think it's just trying to get him comfortable to where and healthy enough that he'd have the confidence to go back out and try it again. And I think there's a delicate point, especially in that surgery, where no, it's not coming back. I'm done. I might as well just go get my degree sort of thing, or no, I'm going to get this. I'm going to get the one more shot. And I was glad that he took the one more shot sort of thing, because that means we got him over that mental hump. And, the relationship through that is you got to trust somebody in order to let that go. And he did let it go.
Absolutely. And Tommy was a good ball player here for the Elks, two-time Elk, and then even won the WCL MVP in 2010, so helped out this franchise a lot too, as did you. You were brought on that same year in 2012 as an assistant, then went on to be the manager for 6 seasons, including that 2015 championship banner out in center field. Just how would you sum up your time in Bend?
Well, I mean, Bend baseball is big. In the West Coast League, it's the city that it's like being an NBA guy. Nobody wants to go Milwaukee. They want to go to LA, Miami, that sort of thing. Oh, yeah. This is a destination city for the West Coast League.
Absolutely.
So, and it's great. This is a home atmosphere for me. I've got a lot of great connections here, and I'll never forget it and always want to come back.
Absolutely. And looking at that 2015 championship team in particular, what made that team stand out above the rest?
They were a wrecking crew. I mean, there wasn't much coaching. You didn't have to. They were just that good. And as a unit, when they became good as a team, then it was even worse. You just put out a lineup card and go get them, boys. They were going to do it.
And they got the job done, indeed, and hoping that the Elks can get back down there soon. But you've won a championship as a player in the World Series in 2004. You've won it as a coach in the 2015 championship with the Elks, but you've also won it as a father, leading your son and the Summit Storm to a 5A state title in 2016. How special and what did that mean to you to be able to do that with your son?
Well, the son thing, we were not father and son at the field, so at the field we would butt heads a lot. But I appreciated being there. I appreciated being able to coach him on the Elks, but to bring Summit hadn't won a title in baseball yet. I don't know how many titles they had besides track at that point, sort of thing. And in the same year, the school just had a great run of athletes through 4 years. And I believe we were the team that did not want to lose the state championship. We didn't want to be known as that. But I had an exceptional group of kids. The school was great to me. and I was grateful for that opportunity. And then again, that was a wrecking crew too, as far as high school goes. Those two teams were pretty comparable as far as what it meant at each level. Right. And maybe not a lot of coaching, but a lot of life lessons, sort of thing.
Yeah. And just how have you enjoyed being able to teach those life lessons and give that off to your son and just give it to all the players you interact with?
Yeah, I mean, if I can give them something that they can look back on later and go, oh, that was pretty cool, or I remember this for the positive, I've done my job. So it's rewarding.
Just seeing those life lessons that you've been able to teach in the West Coast League, just you've been around this league for nearly a decade now, and just seeing all the beautiful players and great players that have gone on to play where you once were in the major leagues, just what is it about this league that prepares kids for the next level?
I think it's the grind. This is a true minor league schedule. This is what it's like. And it's funny, I told the boys the other day on the bus, I'm like, congratulations, you've just finished the end of the season for the West Coast League. You're at the halfway point of your first minor league season. And they're just looking like, what? So it's just preparing them for the grind, mentally and physically, what it takes to be able to do that and continue a career on in baseball.
And just knowing what it takes, especially with a pitcher standpoint, being that you went through Tommy John surgery and having to take care of arms, how have you been able to prepare kids for that aspect of being able to, hey, you can't be throwing out your arms out at 18?
Well, it's just management. I'm not I think throwing is the only way to get better, but it's quality over quantity sort of thing. And getting the boys to look, sometimes you don't go and work out that day because you may be up, and sometimes you don't throw as many pitches in the bullpen. Or you find out, oh, I can throw that second day in a row, or I don't need as much rest and still be effective. So it's just the balance between that. We're not trying to burn out any kid. We're trying to get them ready for their colleges, the next level. And I have a pretty good idea how that works.
For sure. Just being through your playing career, understanding that absolutely, and just to finish off here, I know there's a ton of fans that come here every night, and as you said off camera, just the population has grown immensely here in Bend. Just how special is this Bend community?
When it comes to baseball, this community, I think this is the best place for a West Coast League team. This is like the diamond of the West Coast League is what I call it, sort of thing. And the town has embraced it. There's good people in this town, and I mean, this will continue to be a successful franchise as long as the West Coast is in existence.
I don't know if Mr. Baseball Vince Genna could have said it better himself. Thank you so much, Alan Embree, for taking the time to spend with us here on this edition of Elk Calls. Elks and Drifters will take on one another in the rubber match tonight at 6:35.